So yeah, air compressor ends up working pretty dang good. Went up to 100 and let's call it 110. About 110 on there, and yeah, shut off. Wasn't even that loud. Pretty dang quiet. So that'll make a good one. I got one over there, so that'll make a good one for like filling up tires in the yard and stuff like that, and it's easy enough to move around. I think it's got a little bit of water in it, so I'm gonna have to shoot it out. You can kind of see I got a little bit of water there, so I'm gonna have to empty it and fire it up a couple times and keep water out of it. But that's about it, I'm saying $25, that'll do it. And then this little puppy. Now I could make money off of it, but I only spent $5 on it, and my mom and dad are retired, so I'm just gonna give it to them. I did fire it up, but I just disconnected it, or just put the cord inside. But yeah, it worked good. Everything seems to work, and I don't even know what it is. As it sits, it's probably worth like, I don't know, 300, 400. I don't even know. But everything on it worked. All the buttons worked. I didn't check the speakers. It's got some kind of headphone jack somewhere, but I didn't check that. But the fan worked. All that stuff worked. The incline worked. She got moving a little bit fast for my butt, It's got this little key, whatever thingy, apparently that it shuts off, I'm guessing. So I'm going to bring that to them tomorrow, help them take their ACs out. And I'll bring this with them. I already talked with them and asked them if they even wanted it, made sure they wanted it before I just showed up with it. But yeah, they're pretty happy. So it looks like it might be I don't even know what brand it is, Livestrong, whatever. So I don't know, I just did a quick Google on it, and pretty robust thing. Seems to work pretty good. Just run it on here, because basically I'm gonna strap it down and take it to them tomorrow morning, and do all that stuff. But yeah, pretty dang impressed. For $5 I got a good deal, and it's one of those things where I would never drop like $500 on that, but yeah, whatever, give them that. They can use it. They've been trying to get to the gym, but it's it's like 20 miles away. So if I can get them something they can use in the house, yeah, that'll work out. Thing's heavy as heck though, but it does fold up pretty easily. Probably into let's call it 3x3 spot instead of this long thing. But a lot easier to transport in this condition, and a lot easier to play around. So the belt has a little, the belt made a little like whoop, so the belt might be a little worn. Who knows? But it was an old person, she used it, so I give it to my folks who are 60 plus, and they can use it, and use it until it dies. I was pretty impressed. So yeah, there's that. You can see I got the trailer cleaned out. I had a long day. Ended up playing around with my other truck, which is sitting there, and that is I threw a coil, ignition module, first I did the vacuum canister, that didn't fix it, so I threw another coil, cap, rotor, and ignition control module in it, and it still was acting up. So I pretty much took it up and down the road a dozen times, and pretty sure I got it all sorted out. It's just played around with. Had to clean it out really, but I finally got it to fire up, or not fire up. I finally got the secondaries to kick in and everything. I think I just need to run a whole bunch of injector cleaner through there, or clean the carb about a dozen more times. But whatever, got a whole bunch of new parts in it now, which probably didn't need. I need to keep all my old parts, and I'll probably use them in a different truck. And like I'm saying, about half the stuff goes to Goodwill, so this is all Goodwill stuff. I'm gonna go there Tuesday, unless I can find one that's open on Monday, Labor Day, which I doubt. But whatever, I'll probably end up just going there Tuesday morning and doing that, as I'm doing this treadmill for the folks tomorrow. So that'll probably be my tomorrow daily, and then drop all this off at Goodwill. I still got to sort through all that and find out if I got any Goodwill items there, which I no doubt do. And yeah, I was gonna pull this into the house, but you know what? No, I'm gonna play around with all this tomorrow. Like I'm saying, I got all this stuff. It's just been a super long day, and at least I got it started. I'll finish it up tomorrow morning. I'll take that treadmill to folks tomorrow and help them with a couple other things, and then Tuesday I'll do this before work. But it is what it is. But that way it'll let me see 100% this thing's running good, and then if it is, I'll take insurance off the other pile over here, because yeah, that's, like I said, adds $200 a month, which is just nuts. Because yeah, I'm like $80 on this one, or this, and the yellow one is only like $80 because it's just PLP or whatever. But yeah, so all this little stuff, you know, coffee thing, little Santa thing. We could probably get something like this, but it's just not something that's worth listing. Cutting board, you know, I've never had to buy a cutting board because these things are always everywhere. You always find them. Tons of candles, total waste. It's not worth the money. It's like a $10 unit new, and then if you throw in any kind of shipping, it's going to be like $8 in shipping. So what's your you might make like 50 cents. Good luck with that. So not even worth it. Got a nice moon going on. So yeah, but yeah, here you go. Santa Claus, whatever. Santa Claus fridge magnets, ho ho ho. Goodwill. So yeah, like, gotta play around with all that, you know. But you know, it is the game you play. And yeah, so I gotta play around with all this tomorrow morning, get it all this out of here, because right now it's outside, and I just playing around with everything, getting it around. Here's everything I've hauled so far, just off the trailer from this little thing. So good amount of items so far. We're gonna get some more items. Is what it is. I'm saying, just shooting this real quick. I'm gonna play around. But yeah, I hate to leave it out like this. My neighbors don't really care. Nobody cares. So I'll play around with this tomorrow. But I'll bring that treadmill to folks tomorrow. So that's all good. And like I was saying, it's one of those deals where if I can get stuff at auctions and do that kind of thing, it's kind of nice. Because I don't know about you all, but I have a huge problem spending like $800 or $1,000 on something if I don't have to. Once again, you get it for $5. Like an air compressor, I got the one. Why not have a backup? I actually think I got a backup, but this is a better backup. You know, because when you need to do something, you need to do something. I don't know what size the tank is. Hey, look, we have specs. No, we don't. Oh well, I don't know. I actually got like of course I don't have it here. Somewhere in that pile I have the owner's manual. So whatever. And playing around, there's probably, I think that's oil fill, so I gotta fill it for oil and just up and down a couple times. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. She's holding air pressure, and that'll work great for tires. Yeah, so play around with that. That'll all work out. And yeah, anyway, I really did a whole bunch of family stuff today. I didn't do too much on the front, and I don't even know what's in this bag, but this is kind of hooked to it, so this might be parts or another belt or who knows what. Throw that in the other truck. And I'm obviously not taking this truck because they had that module thing. Threw another module in this truck. Now I can throw that module in that truck because I know it worked apparently. So I'll play around with that, but that'll probably get this thing fired up. But I'm not doing it tonight because it's been like, this is like the fourth thing I've done today, and I had a little bit of family time this afternoon, so that was cool. But yeah, it is the game we all play. Yeah, Goodwill item, you know. And it's actually darker out here. The camera's just picking it up, or lightening it up for you guys, which is cool. But yeah, it's getting dark, so I'm going to shut everything down, get everything going, and yeah, and then I'm going to shoot this, probably Tuesday I'll do Goodwill with this puppy and get all that done. But yeah, that's the kind of thing you play around with when you do auctions, at least. And yeah, it's one of those deals where I'm not going to sell this stuff. I sure as hell ain't going to sell tins, you know, tins or whatever. I'll just leave it at that. more tins, some puzzles, some Santa puzzles, whatever. A little decorative, whatever. Not a lot of like Walmart crap. Which there's nothing against it if you buy it, but if they can buy it, all right, whatever. If they can buy it at Walmart, I'm not gonna play around and just get rid of it. And a couple pots, some decorative whatever with a metal stand, which would be a pain to ship. Not worth it. Just generic stuff at this point, you know. Just getting it all out. Some frisbees, like I was saying, that slow cooker. And I think that's all I got at this point. This is just the rough sort, the first rough sort, and then as you're listing, you comp and figure everything else. Like this little, whatever the hell it's called, picture here. It's got a brand name on it, but is it worth anything? I don't know. I got to dig into it further. This little Cars Tonka thing. It's a Cars thing. It's got the dang eyes. It's a little Cars Tonka thing. Might have bad batteries. Who knows? Some cups there. Gotta comp them, see if they're worth anything before I drop them to Goodwill. But yeah, usually that's the whole deal. Is you just play around. You just get the rough stuff all set up, and then like I know I've got a couple home runs. This is like a whole probably tea set in here. I'm not going to dig into it too deep, but I believe I got a whole tea set in there. And it was a good brand. I just took a picture of it. But just stuff like that where I can comp it and figure it out. I got some I got a whole bunch of Dale Earnhardt crap, which, yeah, I know. But whatever, some of it comps good. Some of it's worth listing, not all of it, but they collected a whole bunch of stuff like that. So, yeah, oh, there is my air compressor thing. I told you guys I had. So, there we are. Whatever, 300 series. Train pump, all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. It's not gonna tell me how many. Whatever. Does everything I need it to do. But yeah, just one for around the garage here to inflate tires on stuff, or just to maybe use in the barn as a backup, or use it in here, and then the big one will go in the barn or whatever. But yeah, that big one's that's a Harbor Freight one. They're pretty loud, but this one's not loud at all. So I'll let that run and play around. We got the thing here. Tell you what. Okay, whatever. I guess I didn't drop it low enough. Where the hell's the shut off at? I'll do that. Let it go all the way down for you. But, what the hell? No, maybe it's not perfect. Oh. So yeah, you got all that and figure all that out. Alright, that might be low enough. So I mean, it's not that loud really. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm saying I don't want to run it too much before I check the oil level and all that. But yeah, I'm impressed with that. Anytime you can get deals, get them. Because yeah, this is my one I used before, a little handheld one for inflating tires, and I had to fill that up like 3 times. Got to play around with this some more. So it is what it is. And I told you I was messing around with the carburetor. That's why the air cleaner's off. It's not going to hurt it for tonight. And it's going to button everything up tomorrow. I really just wanted to get ahead of, get on that project and start cleaning it off tonight, despite not even getting to play with it till about an hour before it starts. But whatever, playing around. So yeah, here's this pile. Like I was saying, I got that pile over there, that pile over there, all my gas tanks over here, which I got to list real soon. Because I want to get that one done, and then once these are listed, I'll get started on that. Once that's done, there you go. Once that's done, I'll get started on this. And yeah, that's probably about half what I got, and I'll probably stack that up high as heck and close that door, and that'll be good. But oh, we're gonna figure it out. And yeah, it ain't gonna rain or anything. This is as bad as it's gonna get. It's just gonna be a nice clear night, nice little sunset for you. And you know, gonna just get cold, like down to like probably 65, and then it's gonna be up to about 75 tomorrow. Nice little fall day before it gets nasty out. And I wasn't in too big of a rush, and I don't want to be working in the dark either, so I'm gonna call it and then wake up probably about 7 o'clock, or not wake up, get out here about 7 o'clock tomorrow and play around, get all this done. And yeah, get this all unloaded, get that all unloaded, move all my vehicles around, get them all situated half right, get this in the garage. I'll probably drive that for another 2 days, and then I'll take insurance back off that and be done with that until the snow flies, or maybe even like December. And then yeah, maybe even December. Snow really doesn't fly until December, but once it starts getting down to about 30, or not 30, once it gets down to about 20, under 30 degrees, then I'll do it. Then I'll just jump out of that and jump out of this and into that. But I want to drive this thing more in the summer. That being said, I got to go through and I got to pull the motor out and do all the gaskets, because I got what I think is a timing cover. It's either a timing cover or it's the very front of the oil pan, one or the other. It's right there. And I degreased the engine a couple times to find it, but once I get the oil pan and all that off and a new one in there, because that yellow one, I did all that already, and it doesn't leak a dime, or it doesn't leak anything at all. But this puppy, I mean, look at this. Like, I'm kind of picky about this, about leaks. I don't like my rise to leak. I really don't. That being said, I didn't want to take it down for a month to take it down for a month to get it going. But yeah, there's a nice little, got a whole little thing going on. You can see which one. If it's facing this way, drip it that way. If it's facing this way, it's dripping that way. So it just has a slow drip when it's parked. It's like only when it's parked, and it's using it only ends up being a drip, like maybe I figure it's like a half a quart every 200 miles or something, which is about yeah, that's about right. Half a quart about every 200 miles, which it's bad, but like I'm saying, it seems like it only drips when it parks. It doesn't use much, or it doesn't smoke at all. So I'm gonna figure it out. But whatever. But yeah, I went through and did all that. So it is what it is, you know. That's the whole game you play. Sometimes you get stupid busy and you end up doing this stuff, and sometimes it takes you 2 or 3 days to get it unloaded. not happy about it. Usually I can get it all done, finish up that day, and then do that night. But I had to get parts for that Saturday night, which made this sit. Then I had a family thing I got to do, and then I also got parts before the family thing. Installed all those parts because I wanted it out of the garage so that I could do all this in there. Come to think of it, I'm going to pull that truck into the garage tonight. That's why I did. That's why I moved this thing. That's why I've got all the parts in here, because I wanted to move it, because I'm going to put the yellow truck in there tonight and unload it all inside the garage tomorrow. Or maybe not, I don't know. But I'll put it inside so nothing gets wet, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. But it ain't even going to rain. You might get a little condensation, that's about it. But nothing worse than what it's already hit. So whatever. Play around with that, do that, and probably have half a day to work on stuff tomorrow. And I got to throw some more listings up. So whatever. I'll figure that out. Do all that. I'm gonna put my windows up on that. So yeah, dude, if you'll be able to see it, it's getting pretty dark. I have a bat house that came with this house. You can't even see it. I got a bat house, and yeah, I get bats like nuts. So if I come out here and 10 o'clock at night and don't have any lights on, and I have my windows open, I have straight up had bats in there. bats in the car. Just, I don't know, maybe they chased some bugs in. Oh my God, you want to freak you out, man. What the heck just jumped on my leg? Freaking open the door and get out and watch a bat fly away. It's like so big. And then they're actually quiet. I mean, it's happened to me more than once. So I gotta put my windows up. Like I'll have the back window on this thing opened up and they'll like climb inside. I don't know, maybe it's warm, maybe they enjoy it, or maybe they're just curious. But yeah, man, like they'll crawl on you and don't do anything, you know, but it's still kind of freaky out. You just move real slow and, you know, and push your shirt up and they'll fly away. But it's one of those deals where if you can't leave my windows down, because I get tons of bats, which is good because, you know, they eat a whole bunch of insects and whatever. But I bet you if I had something, you could probably see them flying out. It's almost time to start flying around. It might be flying around. Oh, I can't see any. There's none out yet. Probably another hour. They'll be flying all over the place. I probably got I usually get about 40 or 60 of them flying around catching insects. The insect too, there's not too many like fireflies or anything out. I think all the birds might eat them, but the birds are quiet right now. Got all the crickets chirping and such. Yeah, I hear you. Always a cricket. But yeah. Got all that. I don't see any groundhogs. I don't see any deer. Sometimes I get deer walking in my backyard. Hasn't happened in a couple days though, because they have other things to do and eat. But yeah, fun. There you are. Nice little sunset. Camera's shooting it a lot brighter than it actually is. But whatever. It's getting dark out here. Anyway, here's your little update for today, I guess. I didn't get too much done. How about that? Some days happen like that. That was an auction item too. Big old fan. I think I spent like $1 on that, and it works. Keeps me cool on the stupid hot days. And I don't even know what they are. They're like $200. Yeah, they're like something like $200 for a fan. Sometimes you can get them cheaper. I think this is like, well, let's call it 4 feet. Yeah, let's call it 4 feet. But it works. Plug it in, belt driven, runs, and I probably have about, oh hell, I would say over 100 hours on it this summer. But it was in the way. I had to move it out of the garage, because yeah, I had it right there when I was working on that car. So the one that has all the boxes on it, oh, I don't even know. I gotta play around with that this winter. That's a winter project at this point. Want to get ahead of my listing. And then yeah, I think I told you a couple movies back, a couple videos back, I was going to either work on this thing and get this all finished up, or I was going to work on the business, and I ended up working on the business. I don't even know how many days I got up. I'll throw them up there probably tomorrow in the video I do tomorrow, the end of the month or whatever. Tomorrow, the next day, I don't even know what day it is. No, it's getting close. So, yeah, do all that. So this puppy's getting a whole, just got a little upgrade in parts. All quality parts, AC Delco or Napa or whatever the hell it's called. But mostly AC Delco. Just whatever they had in stock, because I didn't want to wait 3 weeks. I wanted to get this puppy back on the road, and like I'm saying, I shoot it up and down the road and play around with it. I'm tempted to take you up and down the road right now, but whatever. It's probably 9:30 at night, and I don't want to be shooting up the road and just Brian the engine, because all it has is some Porter mufflers on it. That's all it has for exhaust, and that's it. So it's not terribly loud. It's respectfully loud. It's a mess in here, people. God dang it, I hate this. So I got to knock all this down, get all this in boxes, so I can clear this out, because this is way too much. Like I'm saying, done sourcing, and my coffers are full. You know, I got a whole bay full at this point. Plus the garage. Plus all the stuff I got in the garage. So it's a mess out here today. But I'm not playing in the dark, because it's the country, y'all. And yeah. So here's some stuff from that one auction. I got all that. That's kind of in here, taking up one of my bays. And I got to go through here in the winter and play around. Got all that motorcycle stuff still. Got to tear those bikes down. I'm not going to sell the bikes complete. I tried. Nobody wants them. Whatever. That was a quick sale. I can make like 3 times as much in parts than I can selling the bike. So it makes more sense to tear down the bike. Maybe I'll, like this one, maybe I will fire it up. Probably not. But maybe I will. The rest of them are tore half down already. So it's not worth me putting the time into them to see if it fires. I can pretty much just say the engine cranks. And I can do that pretty much on a bench. I can crank the engine over on a bench. And yeah, that's about all there is. But yeah, just playing around with that. Not playing around too much. And it's a huge mess. So that's a little winter project. Probably December. I'll throw my be dressed up in tons of clothing, whatever the hell it's called. Workwear. There you go. Doing the workwear and doing all that stuff in the garage because it's needed. And then I'll organize the garage, figure out my shelves, figure out what I'm doing with my other shelves. And yeah, playing around with all that because it is what it is. And I have almost no room. So, yeah, I'm gonna figure all this out. Put this in the barn here. Maybe not. And yeah, scooch back, baby. And scooch back, baby. Whatever, scooch over. Playing around and doing all that. And yeah, scoochy scooch. Or don't. That's how it is sometimes, folks. So, yeah. Oh my God, it didn't want to close. Oh, and one of these days I gotta mow the grass too. That'll probably happen next Saturday. Because I don't think it's happening this week. Maybe if I get real lucky, I'll finish up everything tomorrow. And maybe be able to mow the grass for 3 hours on Monday, Labor Day, or whatever the hell it's called, the next holiday. I don't keep track of this crap. I just know the post office isn't open, which saves me an hour or more, come to think of it. Yeah, more than an hour. So, oh my God. So we're gonna figure it out. Scooch. There we go. How about that? So, yeah. But it's a mess in here and a mess over there. And I need to bring the vehicle in here because I want that truck in here. I don't want it sitting with snow because whatever. It's a huge mess in here. Huge mess in here. Got engines I gotta tear down. I got a whole bunch of engine stands to tear down some more engines. But, what is this? This is like an 84 Chevy S10 2.5 TBI. So it's one of those deals. If you want to do engines, like I have done several, you buy the entire engine for, I think I spent like $50 and I got a transmission and the engine out the deal. And then you sell all the parts. You can sell the throttle body off of it because I don't think anybody makes, I mean, they make it, but that one looks pretty clean. Might be rebuilt, whatever. Parts there. OEM header, parts there. Whatever. The head's allowed to throw valves. Got to check all that. And then just pretty much scrap the rest. Anyway, probably make about $150, $200 in parts on there. This little puppy, I have bought several engines because this EGR solenoid has gone bad. I bought entire trucks because the EGR solenoid goes bad. When the EGR solenoid goes bad, it will cause the truck to just bog and act like it has no power, and people didn't like to screw with it. And it used to be a dealership only part. So if you didn't go to junkyards and have a pile, I would buy a truck for like $300. And I pretty much knew what the thing was. So I'd bring one of these along that I knew worked and take it down the road all bogging out. And, you know, pull the lines. It's only 2 lines. Oh, that one's trash. Apparently this one's trash. But yeah, pull the lines and it had a filter. This one doesn't even have a filter on it. but it had like a little foam filter, and that would get clogged or full of oil or whatever, and that would make it fry. Or the plastic would crack, and that would make it fry. Or the terminal would break, or the pigtails would be bad, in which you just push the pigtails up more before you plug the new one in. But yeah, went down the road about half a mile, took the other one from my pocket, plugged it in, because it just, you don't even have to have it hooked it down, like it has this bracket, where you can just kind of throw it in there without hooking it up to the bracket. It doesn't need it. And basically, you slap it in, you fire the truck up. 90% of the time, the thing was gone. I would come back and unplug it and put the thing back in my pocket and pretty much tell the guy, here's your problem, you could fix it with this, or you can sell me the truck. And about 98% of the time, even though I told him what it was, and it was like $120 part. It was a crazy expensive dealership only part for some reason. They held that to their chest. I don't know why. But, they would do that and pretty much tell me, no, I don't, it might be something else. And it's like, okay, man, and give me the title. I get the truck for like $400. Drive it for a summer and pretty much throw a clutch out or blow a rear end up, or end up jumping a hill too high and going up a hill a little bit too fast and get some air and ended up in a ditch or whatever. But, get it back to the house and then tear it apart because now the frame's twisted or tweaked. Stuff like that. But anyway, you get a whole bunch of engines, play around like that. But yeah, another little TBI engine, probably in 80s. Probably like, look at this belt. Okay, that's like not 88 to 90, probably 3. Anyway, some TBI parts, in which I already snatched some parts off here. But yeah, another $50 engine that you can sell the parts for. Nobody makes that air cleaner thingy anymore, so if that rusts out completely, somebody needs it, you can sell it. Some of these lines, I didn't play around with the lines, but the plastic lines in these things are sketchy as hell. They like to leak. Oh, maybe I got them pulled off. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Heads are junk. Heads are just good for scrap. Manifolds are, whatever. They're a dime a dozen. Yeah, the throttle body parts are worth money. Sometimes the pulleys, if you get all the pulleys off, you can make a pulley kit and sell that for like $50. And a couple of the sensors if you really want to screw with it, but I really usually don't. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, a couple of LSs, but I save the LSs for myself. Or LTs or whatever the hell you want to call them. But yeah, so whatever. These are my ones I got to tear up in the winter and play around with that. Just because I have them more than anything. I got a couple transmissions around here. There we go. Got to tear into those or sell those or whatever. If I can sell the bell housing, that's an easy ship. What else? And yeah, that's my little project. I got a couple Ford trannies up there. I get rid of that. I think I had a transfer case kicking around. It's another, whatever. All right, whatever. I got to play around with that. Still got to throw these Jeep doors up. I don't know. I don't know. They're a dime a dozen. It's like 91 Cherokee doors. Yeah, but they got manual windows, which means if you want to do the thing, in which I did the thing, or you just put pins in it. I don't know. I can't even show you it because I don't even have my lights on in here. I just got the basic lights on in the barn here, but these doors, you can just drop them on the thing. You just put the pin in there, so you just drop it in the thing, and then you can take the doors on and off easy as hell for going to the beach or whatever. But the big thing is it really helps if you have manual windows for that, because then you don't have to hook anything up. You pop the door on, you're good to go. If it was to like rain or something on the way there, whatever, you get to the dunes, let's call it the dunes, and you grab the doors, you pull them off, because it really is that easy, and then you just chain them to a tree at your campsite, and then you go to the dunes without doors. There you go. But they stuff like that, if it's legal and all that stuff, don't get my butt in trouble. But if you've been there, you know. You know, and that way you can play around on the trails and then come back, and if you don't completely roll the thing, your door should slap right back on. I don't think I got keys for these doors though, and I'm not playing around with that, so whatever. They can play around with that. You know, I already said it. I never lock my vehicles anyway. But yeah, they got the door panels. I think they got gray door panels on the back, and they got them, whatever, rinky-dink 90s mirrors, and somebody's already. No, that might just be junk. Or that probably from me moving around. That's what that is. But whatever, you know, got the manual mirrors, manual things. So all you got to do is drop them on, and you're good to go. You don't have to hook up anything. You don't have to screw around with coming up with some creative way to hook up your come up with some kind of weather-tight seal for all your windows and speakers and all that. You just don't run speakers in the doors. Like I'm saying, if you want a full manual, drop on, pull off, set up. But yeah, but I gotta list them. I just haven't done it on those deals where they're here. Half of me thinks I'm gonna get another Cherokee later on. I probably will. That's probably why they're still here. Part of me still thinks I need a Cherokee. And they don't have a whole bunch of rust, but I'm not even moving crap. Here are the gas tanks. Those are going in the scrap pile. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, I mean, it's like, that's what it is, you know? You just play around and have a stockpile. And like I'm saying, you're looking at my stockpile here, because I'm going to probably play around with all these bikes here in the wintertime, tearing them down. I really thought I was going to get rid of this one, but whatever. And because I'm not, I don't want to go into that, but I'm be able to tear it down, sell it for parts, you know. And I also, because I'm not dealing with piles of parts, my piles of parts are getting lower. I almost have them all gone, or listed. God dang. But I'm getting there. But I still got a couple of totes. I still got to sort through all that. Once I'm sorted through all the hard stuff, I can figure out, once I get through sorting all the hard stuff, I can figure out, tear these down. Except for this one. I'm not going to touch the thing. That puppy's up on eBay. I'm going to leave it up on eBay. I'm not going to tear it down, because finding one complete is tricky. And of course, because it doesn't have a title, I had to get creative. It's listed as a rolling chassis, in which it is. It's a rolling chassis with an engine. How about that? You know, and the engine's like half tore apart, so it's a rolling chassis. It's missing the headlight. It's missing a couple things. It sure as heck wouldn't even. It doesn't have the kick crank, so I can't even test the engine. I could probably figure out a way to see if it would crank over, but I'm not messing with it. Sell it as is. Sell it as a display case. I still think that Sears bike will look good in somebody's garage as a talking piece of one of those. I had one when I was 16, you know, one of those dealies where you just set it in the corner of a shop, and it's a display piece. That's great. Maybe you actually do put some time or money into it and make it into something you can ride around the yard. But because it's like from the 60s and they didn't have titles, it would be a nightmare to even get a title on it. And then on top of that, or you'd have to register it as something besides what it is. I'd have to register it as a new bike, which, yeah, or like a new build or a custom build. That's what it would be. It'd be a custom build title, and I don't want to build it. Simple as that. It's not worth it. So I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'll just throw it up. It's already thrown up on eBay, and I'm just gonna hold off. At this point, it's almost winter, so oh well. You know, I might pull it. Once the snow flies, I will pull it, because it's a local pickup. And once March comes around, I'll throw it back up. But right now it's up. I'm going to throw it up until probably the end of October. It's on there till probably the end of October, and then I'm going to say screw it, and off it goes. You know, because I don't want to be having anybody come by with a trailer when I got a foot of snow on the ground, or like 3-4 feet. When my driveway gets like 3 feet deep. So I don't want to play around with that. My road here, despite being you can hear a whole bunch of vehicles shooting down it. It's pretty heavily used. Despite that, semis go down it, and they pack that right down, so it becomes a sheet ice. So I don't want anybody coming around and all that. when it's a sheet of ice, unless they absolutely have to. But I don't want to force anybody doing a local pickup when there's ice on the road. So I'll pull it when the roads get that bad, and just leave it off for like 3 months and then throw it back up. But the rest of the bikes are getting torn down, baby, because look at this. How much do I gotta do to put that back together? I'm pretty sure I do got the carb set up, but it's already pulled. All right, I do. It's in one of those crates over there. I do got the carb set up. It's already pulled, but I got the, let's see, right here. I'm looking at it. We got the twin cams. We got the heads. We got the lower of the engine. We got the covers. We got pigtail or kickstands. We got all kinds of the swing arm. We got the back seat here. We got this. We got that. We got that. We got that. We got all the gauges that probably work. We got the front forks that have good compression. We got the front tire. We got the back tire. Oh, we got the shocks. We probably got about, and we got the gas tank. We got, and of course the frame. We got probably, I'm gonna call it $2,000 versus trying to sell it for something stupid. I think he got it down to like 12, half that, damn near. I'll probably take half. I was gonna take half that. So screw it. Sell it off for parts. Make toys that I can. It's gonna take me probably a couple days to tear down, but I have so much other stuff, you've seen it in boxes, that I'll make it a couple days project or a couple weekends, not days. I'll make it a couple weekend project and tear all these bikes down. And once they're down, but the big thing is I don't have to fight, because right now I'm fighting to figure out what everything is here. And like those forks, not even playing around with them, because half of them were bad. That's not worth it, because I don't know what they are, and half of them have like busted ears and such. So scrap. Those are scrap. I do know that's a little swing arm is something worthwhile, but whatever. I gotta figure out what to do with that swing arm. I probably end up gonna tear it down more, just so that I can get with it. But yeah, the engines, I can kick start them, but that's as far as I can get with them. None of them have the carburetors on them. I got to dig through the piles more, but I can't believe I don't have any more carburetors for them. So I'm looking at the top, the head, whole bunch of covers, whatever. 15 to probably 200 a piece. If I tear them down. So those are getting tore down too. So whatever, I'll figure it out. So it's better just to tear them down, and then instead of trying to sell them and then have somebody come back because I didn't tear them down completely and inspect the whole dang engine, and sure enough, there's like a bad valve. It's a possibility at this point. I don't know. You're looking at everything I know at the bottom. So could be bad valves in there. Could have a bad cam or crankshaft. I don't know. I ain't cranked them over yet. But whatever. Play around. Maybe he's like me, where he keeps spare engines, or kept spare engines around that are actually pretty good. But there's a whole bunch of parts there. So I'm gonna tear those engines down this winter. One of those deals. This is all like January, when I do get pretty thin on parts. I can tear down the bikes and play around. All that stuff. But I'm going to throw those saddlebags up just so that I got them out of the way. Play around like that. I got these. I do got the frames up right now. But hopefully those can sell. If these sell, I'll take them down the road. I'll throw them in the back of the truck. Take them down the road to somewhere where the person doesn't have to show up and doesn't have to be driving down my road that becomes sheet ice. So, which I don't get it, because the road crew, the actual county road crew is like 2 miles away. So, whatever. When I moved here, I was like, cool. I got an ambulance, and I got a road crew like 2 miles away. Hear it? I get that every now and then. The ambulance shooting down the road because they're close. But yeah, I got the ambulance and the road crew. About 2 or 3 miles away. And then I also have the Firehouse, about 10 miles away. So, I got pretty bases covered here. But I figured the roads would have been salted and all nice in the wintertime, and I was wrong there because apparently they can't keep up with them. Highways are more important, obviously, than the other roads, so it is what it is. By the time they get to mine, it's already packed down. I get like an inch, 3/4 to a full-on inch of ice, where it packs down when you get the little bumpies. You get the bumps in the road because it's packed down where the blades won't even work anymore. But whatever, just take it slow. But heck, I've slid right past my driveway before because the ice is that bad. Go to slow down, and it's like, nope, not happening. And luckily, there's nothing in front of, no turns or anything. Just let it coast. But yeah, playing around with all that. Anyway, way too much of an update. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. Whatever. But yeah, giving you a little dilly-dilly here. I'll play around with all that, but this is probably gonna be January. I'll tear them down, or maybe even February. I'll tear them down because it'll be. I'm not going to get to it this year. I got so much small stuff to list at this point. I don't even know what I said. Whole bunch, like several thousands of items before I even play around with these. And then I probably got, oh God. What do you got here? Let's go with 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5, there's 300 listings easy. Just crazy, not even getting into it, but yeah, I probably got 600 listings here with all these bikes and stuff. And despite throwing away a couple things, some things are just trash, like fenders that already have holes cut in them, whatever. There's a huge multi-state bike thing in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I gotta see when it comes up. Half of me is tempted to just bring these things to that booth and sell them there. But I don't know. It's not anywhere close. It's like 2 hours away. Oh, I've had it all day, folks. Been like 2 hours a day away, so. And I gotta bring the trailer and do it. I think it's like October too. It might even be snowing at that point. Or might start snowing, so. Don't want to play around and 20-degree days and pulling a trailer 3 hours, 2+ hours away. Get all that done. Get a booth, sit in the booth, screw around all day in the booth, and maybe I'll sell $20 in parts or sell it online. Yeah, so option B. I'm taking option B. Don't know what I'm doing to the rims. I'll probably throw them up locally on whatever marketplace in the spring. Same deal. Because whatever, I'm not playing around. Simple as that. But knowing, I got too many of these dang doors up. I got bugs in here now. But knowing what it is and really helps. That's why I like tearing apart entire cars. Because if you go into it knowing exactly what you have, it makes listing all that stuff so much more easier. I have a 1976 Honda 1000 Goldwing. Okay, I know that's a Goldwing fender. I know that's a Goldwing foot peg. I know that's, fits a Goldwing. That's a Goldwing side panel, versus, I got a couple in the house. It's like, here's a side panel. What's it go to? Well, it could go to this, and this. You have absolutely no part numbers on the thing, so who effing knows? Playing around that whole game, and that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm weeding all these hard parts out, because I can. That being said, we're in the third quarter, or dang near in the third quarter. It's almost September. I need to list the good stuff so that I can get those third quarter profits, so that I can make some bank on those third quarter profits. These things, the demand is going about to drop out from them. And people live in southern states and all that. The demand's still going to be there, but it's going to really drop down once the snow starts to fly, in the northern states. I'm going to lose half the country. How about that? So these can wait until probably January, maybe even February before I list them. Once again, I got all the documentation for all the taxes and all that, so that's all taken care of. But yeah, tear them all down. Make more money. Make probably 3 times cash by tearing them down, and it really helps. I know exactly what every single part goes to. Like this fender. This fender looks like that fender, you know, with a couple exceptions. But yeah, basically, that fender goes to that. But yeah, without the bike, that fender goes to, well, it doesn't go to that. It's not quite that. Sure as hell isn't that. Nope, not that. It's almost that, but it's not. It's different. It's got a round headlight versus rectangular headlight, which means it's probably that, but who knows? I'm close, but I'm not right. I'm close, but I'm not right. It's probably a Yamaha fender, you know, but I'm not sure, you know, versus having the bike. And yeah, even though it's all rusted and beat up, it matches that. So I'm not going to sell the fender because the fender has like cracks and holes in it, but I can sell the taillight and probably the OEM, whatever the hell, reflectors there, and sell that taillight as a unit, sell the side light as a unit, as a factory for somebody that needs it for a factory, whatever the hell they're called, vintage race. All right, let's just go with that, a vintage race, you know, stuff like that. But I know what it fits, you know. I know this bracket goes to that, you know, that little bracket on the side there that swings under the taillight, the little U-shaped bracket. I know that goes to that. And yeah, I can pretty much, you know, show them that, and it helps a lot more instead of just, what does this go to? You know, does this go to this? It might. That's where I was playing around. You know, it might go to that, but I don't know. One of those dealies. Because you just don't know what it goes to unless you actually have this vehicle. That's why I don't like doing piles of parts for vehicles, because I'll spend like 30 minutes trying to figure out what the thing is. And I mean, if it looks expensive, it probably is in car parts, but you just don't even know if it's worth that, if it's worth playing around with. But yeah, so this is way too long. I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I need to play around. I'm going to play around tonight and do some socializing after this. But I just wanted to get something in there. But yeah, I'm going to actually do some socializing tonight, because I haven't done any socializing almost all week, except for some family stuff today, which was kind of nice. But yeah, it is what it is. But got that truck running good. I got to run maybe a little bit of carb cleaner in the gas, and maybe like, I got it pretty much shot with some carb cleaner. It's running good, but I don't want to, I need to probably work a couple things of carb cleaner through it, in the gas, a mixture, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Throw that in there and just burn it through, whatever the heck, end up getting probably stuck in there, and whatever. I'll play around being pretty mean to it here. A couple days this week, burn through crazy amount of fuel, because I'm driving it like a freaking 5-year-old, and once that's gone through, that'll be back up and running. I really don't want to tow a trailer with that thing. That's really just a summer truck to be just a summer truck. It's not a work truck. That's what the yellow's for. And yeah. Anyway, there we are, folks. Play around, give you a little bit of update. Not too much of an update, but a little bit of an update. What I figured out and playing around today. You want to go to auctions, you get a whole bunch of stuff for cheap, you know, and it might not all be home runs, but if you can get some good deals and help some people out, you know, maybe you need some. Here you go. I would go to an auction, or the other way around. I would part out cars, and like if I knew somebody needed tires, I'd give them tires. Like I would just like give them. Like, I might charge them like $1, just so that there was like a deal. If I had to do any kind of paperwork on the end of it, you know, I'd charge you like $1 here. Give me $1. Say you gave me $1. You know how it is. say you gave me $1 and here's some tires for you. Here's some tires. Make sure they fit your car. If they don't, come back and I'll throw them away. But, give them some tires on rims. And that way they can get through the winter kind of deal. And I like doing stuff like that. Or if somebody needs something, you can do that. These bikes, I'm going to probably sell the tires for something stupid just to get rid of them because I don't want to store them. These tires and rims, I'm going to sell them for something stupid because I don't want to sell them. But like if I knew somebody needed anything like that, it's always nice to just, give it to them because like car tires on rims, I'll give it to you. Just like, don't come back at me if something happens, I pretty much tell them that, that's why you might sell it to you for $1. That way I can say it's as is. As is, no warranty. I ain't guaranteeing these at all because like this one have tread, but it might blow out, tomorrow. I ain't running the date codes on it and anything like that, but if I knew somebody needed it, there you go. And at least they got a good rim probably. It's under the bike, it's probably good. But yeah, you give it and that way they can get running down the road. Really more about car tires than bike tires because you get a blowout, you're pretty much eating the ditch or eating some pavement. Grass is softer. I take the ditch three out of 4 days a week. But yeah, it's nice when you can do stuff like that. Give stolen parts away. If somebody needs some stuff, somebody does give me I sold a rusty T-Bird fender to some guy. He was happy as hell. And he's like, will you take $20? I've been trying to get this thing back on the runs. Sure, man. Get that to him. It's a rusty fender. It's going in the scrap pile here probably a week. So I'm glad he did that. But people are happy and you can do stuff like that. Do it all the week. But if I can, like I'm saying, giving that treadmill to the folks because I can. Because it's $5 and it's nothing to me. And what am I going to do with it? I don't want a treadmill. I'm not going to be on a treadmill. I got a little exercise bike from the 60s. How about that? And the chain's all rink-a-dink and I jump on that thing for probably 10 minutes a day. Like I'm watching a movie or something. I'll jump on it and make the chain come up, fly around where it feels like it's about ready to bind up. But yeah, getting a little bit of cardio going. But yeah, that's another thing about reselling and doing all this. You're going to come across a buttload of stuff that you are going to going to auctions, sourcing that way through an auction or through a storage buildings or whatever the hell you want to call them, and just buying bulk stuff. You come across a ton of stuff that if somebody needs something and you see that thing or want something or whatever, they see something like that, you can pretty much give the stuff away and it's not going to hurt your business in any way. And it's what it is, man. You can help somebody out and it doesn't hurt you and it helps them 10 days of the week, as long as they're not turning around and selling it themselves. Even then, I would still probably do it. But, if they're, as long as they're not taking advantage of you, a lot. How about that? They're not taking advantage of you any day of the week. It's just got to give them an understanding that, I'm giving to you this, no guarantees or anything, because I've had that come back to me. They, you put some tire, well, you gave me these tires. It's like, now you got to tow my car. It's like, dude, I gave them to you because I knew you were like flat broke and you just had a kid and all this. I knew you didn't have money for tires, and I gave them to you. I didn't charge you $200 or $300. I could have sold them for like $300 or $400. You needed them, so here you go. I told you they were probably going to only last you, probably 10,000 miles at most. And you need to start saving up, but whatever. But yeah, I've had it come back at me a couple times, but for the most part, people are grateful with all you can do stuff like that. And even when I don't do stuff like that, I'm giving it to Goodwill. And maybe they can do something. Maybe they can help somebody out. it's just one more step to the landfill, you know. You can throw a detour in there, and maybe somebody that needs something can use it. But, I mean, if I can even skip Goodwill and go right to the person that needs it, that's great. That being said, when you put, like, free out by the road or free curb alert, you get people, oh my God. I had some stairs. What a nightmare. I had, like, almost fist fights out here as I had some stairs I got at an auction. And I tested them. I thought they were going to work for me, and they're actually, like, the wrong pitch for what I needed, or, I don't know, they were, like, just a little bit too short. I'd have to build them up, but oh my God, like I threw them up for free, you know, and you had like dang near fist fights out here because people were mad. Oh, I'm coming from 3 hours away. It's like, don't come from 3 hours away. They'll probably be gone, you know, stuff like that. But like not fist fights with me because I ain't gonna screw around with that. But they, like one person showed up, then another person showed up like a minute later, and they both wanted it, and it was like, dude, you know. Y'all keep fighting over this. I'm just gonna burn the crap. You know, I don't care. But like, just take it or don't take it. I'll help you load it. But yeah, it was like some wooden stairs. So whatever. But I don't know. I don't want to just put it out by the curb because you get crazy people that like. If I can just leave something out there and somebody wants to come and take it, like some scrap steel, you know, or something. I've done that with shelves. I snatched a shelving unit that was free on the side of the road. And I was happy about that. Probably in here. Oh, I snatched one. I think it is in here. Yeah, it's that gray one. So, but yeah, I snatched that on the side of the road. I mean, I'm not above curb alert. I mean, because it's either me or the scrapper. If I can use it, all good. But whatever. Oh my God, this thing just passed an hour. Okay, folks, I've been talking to you way too long about pretty much nonsense. But there's an update, little business update, a little bit of what's going on, a little bit of my plans for the winter. Okay, it's almost the end of the month. Gotta be dang near the end of the month. I'm doing the video here pretty soon, the end of the month, or the first of the month, September, and do that going into third quarter. I do expect to get, it's been super busy sourcing. So now that I'm done sourcing, I can get up and listing and get everything listed up. But yeah, all these bikes and such. I'm going to throw the saddlebags up because those are pretty much taking up a whole bunch of room now. Get those up, get those in boxes, get those up in the, get those up in my little storage thing here. And I do need to get more boards. So that's going to have to happen. Where I get more boards up here. Once again, I was kind of hoping, I think I had 3 auctions this weekend. I did see some plywood, but it went for like $15 and it's like brand new. It's like $20. I was like, no. You know, if I can get a pile. Sometimes you can get a whole pile of plywood or boardings or whatever. You can buy a whole dang pile of wood for like $5 because nobody noticed it or they don't care or they didn't bring a pickup. That happens more than you think. And it's like, what? Or they bought too much stuff and they already have a trailer full of stuff. So they didn't, you know, you can't do this whole thing of wood if you don't have room. Simple as that. And got to make a 4-hour drive to make it work. So yeah, but only if it's stupid cheap. That's when I only buy stuff if it's stupid cheap. Yeah, this was going for like $15 and it retails for like $20. So I was like, yeah, you know what? No, I got a home improvement place about 20 miles from my house, you know, so I can hit that on my own dang time and do it on my own business. I ain't gonna pay $15 a sheet for $20 brand new. And so, but I was kind of really hoping to get all that plywood at an auction here and pay probably $10 for 10 sheets, you know, one of those deals where you pay like $10 for 10 sheets. Then I could have built this out, but I'll build it out here over the winter. As I pretty much build it, I'll take it back. I'll build it out as I need to, you know, pretty basic. I'll make some measurements and just, I'm not going to nail it down because I don't want to hurt my trusses. Potentially put screws into my trusses and crack my trusses that way. But I'm going to put it down where I can pretty much slap it down. Maybe I'll put some nails on the side of the board so it can't shift left or right kind of deal, and my butt steps on it and does a little funny gag where the thing flips sideways and I fall 10 feet. But I'm pretty safe about all this. You know, I've done construction jobs. It's not that concerning. But, yeah, but I'll build it out as I go. Maybe before snow flies, I'll build it out. Just throw probably, I don't know how many sheets it was. Tell you what, let me look at it. So, what do we got? 6, 12, and probably another half sheets there. So, 15, probably 15 to, yeah, really only like 15 sheets. So 15 sheets of plywood, probably 20 bucks a piece, 300 bucks, probably about $350 after taxes and screwing around and all the other crap, probably some gas, probably about 350 bucks to build it out. That being said, one more project. So I need to play around and do all that. But right now, it is what it is. I'm going to fill it up. I put the stuff up. Like, I got 2 things sold up there right now over this weekend. I got a snatch. So when I put them up there, they sell within about 2 or 3 weeks. And I end up taking it back down. And I put some more stuff up there. And then more stuff sells. And I end up taking it back down. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I actually need a second one. And maybe I get lucky enough and I won't need to. Maybe I'll put these saddlebags up there and they'll sell. And then I'll do some other stuff. But it is starting to get a little full up there. So I'll play around. Anyway, video's way too dang long, folks. Sorry about the length. But yeah, it's just what's going on. A little bit of an update. Thank y'all. See ya.